However you may be listening and wherever you may be, welcome to the EMMMPOD podcast.
I'm Emily, this is Mauricio, and we're your hosts.
And we like to talk about movies and maybe more. That's what the M is in at the end. It's Emily, Mauricio, and Movies podcast. But sometimes we want to talk about other things. So we'll the M is for more.
Yeah.
Because you never know. So yeah, we're here recording an episode. It's our first ever official episode. There are some episodes in the vault that will never see the light of day.
There's like a March movies in review.
Yes.
There's like a Mickey 17 outline out there. But
this is the
first. So this has been a long time coming, that's for sure.
Do you want to talk about our journey of how we got here? Maybe not necessarily to the podcast, but maybe to the point where we are talking about movies.
Sure. Well, you've always liked movies, and as your significant other, I like to follow your hobbies.
Yep.
I got you for Christmas in 2021 because we started it in 2022.
Correct.
The AMC A-List movie pass. And I feel like since then it's history.
Yeah.
Honestly. The best thing we ever did was get the AMC A-List.
It is actually the greatest investment of our life.
And now I feel like my hobby is also movies.
Absolutely.
When people ask me, because I also now really enjoy movies and talking about movies and having opinions. I'm
glad you brought up the Christmas present, because I was going to bring that up as well. That feels like the origin of this whole thing. Because, it was Christmas of 2021. We weren't married yet. We were still dating. And I remember you got me that, but it was like, I remember at the time, I was like just a tiny bit disappointed because I didn't know what A-List was. I was like, oh, you got me like an AMC subscription? I was like, where's the gift?
Because I think the idea came to my mind. We went to see Shazam.
The first Shazam?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And there was a pre-roll for
A-List.
For A-List.
Interesting.
And I think at that we were like, that's kind of crazy. Like 3 movies? I wonder what that would be like.
You're such a good listener.
And then I kept that in my head. And the gift was like a shoebox. And in the shoebox was just a white piece of paper.
It was a paper
that just said AMC A-List on it. And so I had to explain. I could see. I was like, "Oh, he doesn't understand."
I was like, "Why am I getting like a white piece of paper?" I was so confused. I was like, "What is this? Where's my Christmas gift?" But yeah, that was the start. It ended up being the greatest investment we've ever made into our relationship. Besides our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ,
of course.
AMC's Nicole Kidman is up there.
Yeah, our God.
Yep.
Our marriage.
Yep.
Nicole Kidman.
Yep. Good rule of 3 there. So yeah, that's how we ended up here. We've been watching a lot of movies since.
Yeah. Do you want to tell them how many movies we're at this year?
Sure. We are at, let me get my phone here.
Yesterday you said it was like 35.
Yeah, theatrical releases in theaters, we're at 35 for the year. Movies overall for the year, we're like at 55 to 58. You've watched a few that I haven't. I've watched a few that you haven't. So we're on pace to break probably 100 in the year altogether. And maybe like 16 theaters, which is pretty good. That's like what? What's 60 divided by 12? You're better at math than me.
4.
That's like 4 movies a month. That's like once a week.
We essentially see a movie once a week.
Yeah, 52 weeks in the year. We usually watch like a little bit more than 52. So yeah, like about once a week. Our AMC A-List pass is good for 4 a week. And sometimes we watch like 2 or 3. We haven't done 4 yet.
We have hit because it recently switched from 3 to 4.
Yeah.
A couple months ago. And so we've hit 3 before when we got 3 movies a week.
Yeah.
But anyways, I guess that's the history of how we ended up.
Yep, that's how we ended up here. We got really into it. We made Letterboxd accounts. We started logging our stuff, and then we're like, I
guess we should add in right around the time that you got your Letterboxd, you also would post on Instagram.
Yes. Okay, so
both your reviews and you would talk.
Yes. Okay, so the Letterboxd pipeline is very simple for any Letterboxd users. It's everyone goes through the same arc. You get a Letterboxd, you get really excited, you think you're a critic, you write really long reviews.
You think people will see your reviews.
Yeah, And you know what? Too, in all fairness, people do enjoy that. Like Evan writes long reviews. Your brother, my brother-in-law, and people love them.
Yeah.
When I used to write long reviews, people used to love them. They used to like genuinely ask me like, "Hey, like I need to know if this movie's worth seeing." But then I don't know. I just got tired of writing the long reviews, and then I turned into like the one sentence like joke review, which I really enjoy. Like it's when I'm not immersed in a movie, all I'm thinking about is like, okay, what am I gonna write for the review?
Even when you are immersed in a movie, the back of your mind is always thinking, what can I use from this movie to make a funny review?
Yes, exactly. So yeah, we like Letterboxd. I think that's part of what inspired this, because I know there's people that are curious about our opinion. A lot of you guys don't go to the movies like weekly like we do, so you're a little bit more selective of like, okay, what am I gonna watch? When am I gonna go out? Maybe I'll watch 5 movies a year, so I would really want to make sure that those 5 are good. And sometimes you guys care about what we have to say to make that decision.
Exactly.
But I think that kind of sums it up. I think let's get into it.
Yeah.
All right. So today we're discussing Superman and Fantastic Four. Since Superman came out first, we're going to talk about Superman first. But before we get started, you have a question for me?
Yeah. So
okay.
I thought it would be fun for these podcasts, I don't know, to think of a silly, maybe serious question. But this time it's a silly question because I don't know if anyone has seen the press reviews or the
press tours.
The people like the press tour for the movies, for both movies.
Okay.
But
I haven't looked at the question, so I have no idea what you're gonna ask.
There seems to be a lot of comments,
like stuff like this. Are you going that direction? Okay.
So my question is, would you rather be David Cornsweet's wife,
or
would you rather be Vanessa Kirby's husband after watching these press tours? Because there's a lot of chemistry on and off screen between Rachel and
rough.
David, but then Pedro's anxiety.
Yeah. His social anxiety.
He's very touchy-feely with Vanessa Kirby, who is also now pregnant in real life.
That's a good question.
So that's my question.
That's really good. Okay, this is my take.
And chat, feel free to if you'd like to answer, if you know anything about it.
If you're watching live, feel free to put your 2 cents in for our live audience. Okay. I think I would rather be Vanessa Kirby's husband, because the Pedro stuff is just kind of, at worst, it's just kind of weird, right? Like when he goes on these little power trips, these little touchy-feely power trips, like it's just kind of weird, and you don't sense like a ton of like chemistry. Like it just feels like Pedro being one-sided.
There are things I haven't seen many.
Well, yeah, Vanessa Kirby like stroking his hair on that one interview.
She responds.
Yeah, but I would hate to be David Cornsweet's wife, because David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan like legit have like chemistry. Like when they're sitting next to each other, like it looks like there is something there. Like they are electric, and it comes out in the movie. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but like if we're talking about on-screen chemistry, Clark Kent, Lois Lane, Reed Richards, Sue Storm. Like I think David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan had like legit on-screen chemistry.
Oh yeah. And
I just didn't feel that much between Reed Richards and Sue Storm in Fantastic Four. So I'd rather be Vanessa Kirby's husband. I think I'd be a little less concerned there. So yeah, that's a good question.
Thank you.
That was good.
Thank you.
All right, great. Well, we're always going to start episodes like that. Emily was always going to have a little question for me. And then we're going to move on to the actual movie. So we're going to set up the movie for you guys. We're going to do a spoiler-free synopsis in case you haven't seen it. Someone said, I'd rather be David's wife for obvious reasons. Yeah. I think
because of David.
Because of David, yeah. It's pretty self-explanatory. He is a good-looking guy, man. That's a good Superman. The same thing happened when Henry Cavill dropped. When they dropped Henry Cavill in 2013, people were like, wow, this guy is hot. So, it pays to be Superman. So we're going to talk about the synopsis of the movie, spoiler-free. And then we're going to get into some credits and behind the scenes on the movie. We'll talk about the budget, the box office, the critical reception. And then after that, we're going to do a little thing that we like to call the EMMMPOD's Buyer Beware, where we get to tell you, before we start spoiling the movie and giving our thoughts, we're going to tell you, hey, like, this is what we think. Like, should you go watch it? Should you wait? Etc. Etc. And then after that, we'll do a quick movie discussion with our final thoughts, and then we'll start wrapping it up. So, yeah, the synopsis. Anything you want to add before I start with the synopsis?
Just for this specific one, we're doing both Superman and Fantastic
Four. Correct. Yeah. So we're gonna go back to back. So we'll try to keep it brief.
Yeah. If you haven't seen these movies, we're gonna do a spoiler-free synopsis, but we are gonna end up spoiling the movie.
Eventually, yeah.
So just keep that in mind, depending on how much you want to see these movies, or if you care about going in knowing stuff.
Yeah. I feel a little less bad just because the movie, like, Superman's been out for
These
exactly
are both July
a month.
Releases, so.
Yeah, and Fantastic Four is on its 3rd week now. So
that's it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Feels like it's been longer.
It does feel like it's been longer. All right, so Superman 2025. 3 years after coming out of Superman to the world, Superman is facing a problem that he can't punch his way out of for the first time in his young career. Faced with the consequences of interfering in international affairs and parts of his personal life being revealed to the public by Lex Luthor, Superman must now direct all his efforts into finding his true identity while going toe-to-toe with his biggest adversary yet. That's pretty good, huh?
You wrote that.
I did write that. That's a pretty good synopsis. I didn't even get that off the Wikipedia. That's me.
Anyway, so
that's what we're talking about. That's this, we're not spoiling anything yet, but that's the movie we're talking about. That's the meat and bones of Superman.
The basic outline of what to expect.
Yeah.
So, James Gunn is the director of this Superman. He's going to be taking on the helm.
Yep, that's a good way to put it.
The DCEU.
Yeah, just DCU now.
Oh.
They don't want anything to do with the DCEU.
Okay.
So now, just like the MCU, it's just the DCU.
I don't think I would have known what the difference between EU and U is.
Yeah.
Extended universe and universe.
Correct. Yeah, I think originally Warner Brothers, they wanted to be different. They tried so hard to be different when they were trying to compete and catch up. So they're like, it's called the MCU. We're not going to be the DCU. We're going to be the DCEU. Because they also have plans to have animated films and...
Which they are doing all of that now. They are still doing that. They're doing the shows. They're doing the...
Yeah, the irony is that nothing like that ever happened in the DCEU. I think there was one comic book that came out before Justice League that was canon. So that was, I guess, the extended universe. But other than that, they didn't do anything. But now, with James Gunn at the helm, they already released Creature Commandos, which is animated
TV show.
In canon TV show.
And Peacemaker.
Which is a live-action TV show that is also part of the universe. So ironically enough, the real extended universe is now.
Just the universe.
But it's just the DCU.
Right. So anyways, James Gunn, he's taking on the charge to be the guy. The Kevin Feige of the DCU. And, spoilers. He did a great job, in my opinion. But anyways, Superman, Clark Kent, is David Cornsweet,
yeah, you got it.
And then Rachel Brosnahan is Lois Lane, and Nicholas Hoult is Lex Luthor.
Yeah, that's your top billing right there.
That's your top cast. You got some other names
that are really good. Nathan Fillion plays Guy Gardner. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but Edie Gathegi is Mr. Terrific, who's really good.
Terrific.
He is terrific. Isabella Merced, who has done a few things. She was in the greatest movie of all time last year, Madam Web.
Of course.
She was one of the ladies, one of the little Spideys. Skylar Gisondo plays Jimmy Olsen. The cast for this movie is really good. I think it's something that they nail. And that's, I think, pretty classic, in a James Gunn movie. James Gunn's done some really awesome stuff. You guys know he did all 3 of the Guardians for the MCU. He did
Scooby-Doo.
He wrote the Scooby-Doo, correct. He I don't think he directed it, but he wrote the live action Scooby-Doo, and he also did the Suicide Squad that was the first thing he did when he came to the
second
Warner Brothers.
Suicide Squad.
Correct. The Suicide Squad. So 2016 is just called Suicide Squad, and then he did the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And all those have like a really great cast. Like when you think about those movies, the first thing that comes to mind, I feel like, is like, wow, what an ensemble.
And they all, in all of those things that I can think of, like the cast bounces well off of each other. They do a very good job of making the movie feel atmospheric.
Yes.
They give a really great, like, okay, yeah, we're in this world, and I'm sure we'll talk about this when we get to Fantastic Four, but I think there's a big difference between that chemistry that the whole cast has to make you feel really engaged in the world.
Yes. Yeah, I like it because there's like a lot of like interconnections in James Gunn casts. Like, yeah, I don't want to keep comparing them, but naturally we will because they're both summer blockbusters, they're both comic book movies, and they're both opposing brands. But yeah, like the chemistry in the James Gunn like movies, and specifically for Superman, like it feels really, it's just so like thorough because it's like you have people that are connected through relationships, but then they're connected to other people outside of their relationships, and those people don't know each other. So like it just it feels like real life, right? Like sometimes like we're really close, and I have a friend that I'm really close to, but maybe you've never like met, and then you have another friend that you're really close to that I've never met, and it just like feels like real life because it's like, yeah, you have Superman who's close to Lois Lane, but then Superman is also close to the Justice Gang, who Lois Lane has never interacted with, and then now she has to interact with them. So she, is kind of knows him through osmosis and through Clark, but not really. So it just extends the universe, and I feel like in Fantastic Four, the family felt so insulated, like it was just the four of them and no outside connections. So like, yeah, the chemistry within the four of them was fine, but it didn't really build out the rest of the world. It just felt like it was the four of them and then a bunch of like fanboys, outside.
So, that's the cast and crew. And
who's your standout for this movie from the cast?
I mean, Nicholas Hoult is honestly just great.
He seals the film
in whatever he does.
Yeah, I agree.
He had some really good monologues in this movie. I saw like comments and reviews saying, he makes the villain of Lex Luthor not just a bad guy because we have to believe he's a bad guy. He makes him feel like a legit bad guy who is a villain.
Yeah.
So obviously him. I think David Cornswood is a lot of fun to watch. I mean, all three of them. Rachel did great too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think from top to bottom, I don't think there's a miss in this cast. Everyone feels so perfectly casted and like made for the role. I agree with you. I think Nicholas Hoult is like the standout for me. His Lex Luthor is really good, which is really impressive because for many years, I like would tell people, I'd be like, I just don't think Lex Luthor can exist on screen. Like I just don't feel like especially after the Jesse Eisenberg like Lex Luthor version, like I would watch like the animated show and I'd read comic books and I'd be like, I just don't think this guy can be done in real life. Like he's such a animated, like he's such an evil character in the comic books. It's almost cliche. Like it almost feels like someone like this can't exist in real life and be bald and be like this,
be bald.
Be this opposing force to Superman, like this billionaire genius who is opposing this alien who's unstoppable. Like it just didn't feel like it could be executed. And then this movie came out, and that was like the biggest surprise to me. I'm like, this is like a legit Lex Luthor. It's like one of the best versions of the character I've ever seen.
Yeah. So
yeah, I agree. I think he stole the show. All right, you want to talk about budget and box office?
Yeah. So the budget was reported to be $225 million. According to the research you did, the total budget might be closer to 400 just because of marketing.
Yeah, the marketing.
And so you found that it's pretty similar to Man of Steel.
Yeah, I was curious when I was doing research for this. I was curious what the Man of Steel budget was, and it was the initial budget. It seemed pretty similar, $225 million. So I was just curious, because they're both doing the same thing, right? Man of Steel was the start of the DCEU in 2013. Superman is technically not the official start, but it really is like the most important piece to the beginning of this DCU in 2025. So I was just wondering what Warner Brothers would greenlight these sort of projects for. And they were both the same. And funny enough, they both made similar opening box office weekend domestically. Man of Steel made 116 million. This Superman made 125 million, which was a great opening. I think it was third in the year behind Minecraft and Lilo and Stitch, which was really disappointing because, I mean, I don't have to elaborate why. Like, I don't understand how this can come behind those two. But, the internet runs things. Disney adults and memes will always, like, hijack the box office. And that's what happened, right? Minecraft went crazy on the internet, even though it wasn't good. And then Lilo and Stitch, I think just like every millennial parent in the world brought their kid to watch that movie. Because we didn't get to watch it, but I haven't heard like a single like positive thing about it. Like there was no like real buzz about it.
Overall, it seemed like people were disappointed.
Yeah. Like as far as like moviegoers, they seemed disappointed. But I think it was like the perfect movie for a casual audience. Like if you don't go to the movies ever, that's not part of your routine, and you're just like a parent with a young child, you saw Lilo and Stitch live action was coming out, and you said, "Great, let's go to the movies."
Yeah. And
then you buy, a ticket for you, your husband, or your wife, your 1 or 2 or 3 kids. That's 5 tickets already, like per household, and I think a lot of people did that. But Superman did good, 125 mil. I don't know if you saw my list that I put, but I was going to ask you a question. Don't look at it if you're looking at it now.
I didn't really look at it. I scrolled past it.
So Superman is the 54th highest grossing PG-13 movie of all time.
Which, how much?
The 54th.
Okay.
Of all time domestically. Which is fine. They're a little middle of the road. Like, it's not like a crazy blockbuster, but it did solid. It's number 11 in this decade. So in the 2020s, it's the 11th highest grossing film, PG-13. Do you want to try and guess some of the 10 movies that are ahead of it from this decade?
So I saw No Way Home on there.
Yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home is number 1. Yep. You don't have to guess all 10. I'm just curious if you want to like drop a few that you think outperformed Superman opening weekend, PG-13.
Of the 2020s?
Of the 2020s in this decade, correct.
It's hard because PG-13, like, I don't
generally
look at movie rating or movie...
Yeah, I don't categorize movies by their rating in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
So, I don't know. There's probably more Marvel movies on there.
Yeah, there is 4 Marvel movies here.
Out of 10?
Out of the 10, yes. And there are 2 Warner Brothers movies, not necessarily DC. There is 1 Universal movie, and then I don't remember the studios for the other 2 that are there.
To be fair, I don't think I'm gonna be able to guess.
Most
of these.
So you have Spider-Man: No Way Home, then you have Top Gun: Maverick, you have Avatar: The Way of Water, and you have Barbie. I'm shocked Barbie didn't outperform Avatar.
I'm not. It's Avatar.
I know, but they're so mid. Those movies are so mid. This one was a shock. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever is right behind Barbie. And then Doctor Strange is right behind that, Multiverse of Madness. I know, yikes. I think MCU was still doing just good enough there where people were just like trusting that the movies would be fine without really caring.
Was that one of the first ones that came out right after?
Yeah.
Right after, but pretty soon after.
Yeah, I don't know which
Endgame?
came first. I think it was Black Panther that came out first. I think it was so Spider-Man No Way Home and then like into Black Panther. But it came out pretty early on, 2022. And this is like pretty recent after the passing of Chadwick Boseman.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of had that like energy as well of like people wanting to go watch the movie to like remember him. So it had that working for them. Then you have Jurassic World Dominion. Then you have Batman 2022. Then you have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, James Gunn, and you have Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Superman's pretty close to Thor: Love and Thunder. It might get into the top 10, but I don't think it'll get past that. It's not doing great internationally, Superman. Which I didn't think. I think Superman is very American.
Yeah.
I don't think people across country lines like love Superman the way that he is loved here.
Yeah. I
think like Batman and Spider-Man go crazy overseas. But I don't think Superman has that sort of aura.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, you want to talk about the general reception of the movie? General reception?
It's been overall pretty positive. 83% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes, 91% from casual audiences on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
7.5 on IMDb. And, of course, Letterboxd is a 3.9. It was at a 4 for a while.
It was at a 4 for a long time.
And then it dropped.
And it just dropped to a 3.9. Yeah. I know. I was sad. I was pocket watching it the whole time. Every day I'd check Letterboxd to see if Superman was still at a 4.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's a coveted club in Letterboxd. Like, if you're a 4 or above,
you're a good movie.
You're a good movie.
Yeah.
And it just dropped.
So, overall, positive reviews.
Yeah, really positive reception. I think that's the general consensus. I don't think anyone is saying Superman is bad. I think the main discussion is Superman better than Fantastic Four? Which I think it is. Yeah. But a lot of people are like more 50-50 on that. But we'll get to the reception about Fantastic Four later, and you guys can make the choice on your own if you've seen it. All right, so we're going to go to the buyer beware section. I think this is what I'm most excited about the podcast, is telling people whether to go watch the movie or not.
Yeah. I think you'll need to explain it a little bit.
Okay, so I think people can be categorized into 4 types of movie watchers. Okay? Yeah. You have the keynote consumer. I try to make all these like with alliteration so they're easy to remember. So you have the keynote consumer. That's the type of person that's like a big snob when it comes to movies. So think of like, it's the type of person that has like 4 French films in their Letterboxd top 4. That's like the keynote consumer. You know, they only watch peak cinema. You know, they're the type of person that agrees with Martin Scorsese when he says that Marvel movies aren't movies. Then you have the AMC A-lister. I think that's where we fit. These are just people that go to the movies all the time. Just like you have A-list. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're paying out of pocket, but you love movies that much, and you're going like at least once a month, I would say. We like to go once a week, but I think once a month you can consider yourself an A-lister. Mm-hmm. Then the next one is the monthly moviegoer. Yeah, I think it's less frequent than a month. I think
more casual.
I think the monthly moviegoer goes to the big events of the year. So when the Marvel movie comes out in the summer, they go to that. When the Christmas movie comes out in Christmas, they go to that. Maybe a Thanksgiving release, maybe a scary movie in October, you know, stuff like that. So they're a little more sporadic, but they will go a few times a year. And then last but not least, you have the streaming Susans. They're the ones that just don't go out. You know, they watch the movies on streaming when it drops. And I don't blame you. You know, COVID changed the world, and a lot of people don't like to leave their house anymore. A lot of people can't. You know, if you got kids, if you got young kids especially, you can't really go to the movie.
None of these are meant to be offensive.
No, definitely not.
Just to be clear.
Definitely not. This is just so that you know, like, okay, where do I fall? You know, am I a keynote consumer? Am I an AMC A-lister? Am I a monthly moviegoer? Am I a streaming Susan? Streaming Susan does sound a little derogatory, but it's not, you know? That's just where you fall. So that being said, I want you guys to, like, think about who you are, and then we're going to tell you our recommendation. We pretty much have like 4 ways to classify a movie. We have our highest praise is get your tickets now. It means go see the movie, stop what you're doing, plan out your weekend, go watch the movie now. Our second rating is go when you can. You know, that means like, hey, this is a really good movie in theaters. If you have time in the next month or so before it leaves, go watch it. Our third recommendation is wait till it's on streaming. You know, like maybe it's like just a fine movie, but I wouldn't feel right telling you to drop $25 to go watch it in Dolby. I'll just tell you like, hey, just wait till it's on streaming, but when it drops, you should watch it. And then our lowest praise, our biggest criticism is AI slob. Hey, this is just AI slob.
Don't even watch.
Don't even watch it. It's, you know, it's just studios trying to release a movie in the month of January or whatever it may be. So that being said, Emily, before we get into our spoilers, what would you give Superman?
I would say, I mean, it's a get your tickets now type of movie.
I agree. I think this is 100% get your tickets now. And it doesn't mean much now because it's been exactly a month since the movie came out. So most of you guys have seen Superman. But if you haven't seen Superman,
Find
get
a
your
way to
tickets
go
now.
if you can.
Find a way to go. I love, like, this movie is one of those that, like, you can take your parents to. Like, it's, you know, hit up your parents and be like, hey, let's go watch a movie. Like, it's just like one of those. I took my mom to go watch it on my second screening of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a shoo-in to just, like, go to the movies. It feels, I don't know, it feels nostalgic in a way. Like, it's just one of those where
it's
like
a good time movie for everyone.
Good time movie for everyone. It feels like it's like 2005 and you're just going to the movies with your folks kind of situation. So yeah, if you haven't seen Superman, go get your tickets now. That's our highest praise that we can give on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, this is where we talk about the movie discussion. I feel like we've discussed a lot of it. If you haven't seen the movies, this is where our spoilers are going to come in. So if you're listening in the future, you can just fast forward. If you're watching live, you know, feel free to mute the stream or step out for a little bit. We're going to talk about spoilers and talk about what we think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me pull up the plot here. All right. Anything that you want to kick us off with? We'll try to go in order. I have something from the top if you don't have anything.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I really, first of all, we kind of talked about it, but I think this movie is really, really well executed. I think one of the biggest problems with Superman is it's hard to make him feel relatable. I felt that way as a kid. I'm a Batman guy. I've always been a Batman guy. And I've never loved Superman because I just felt like he's unrelatable.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this movie did a really good job of grounding him while not, like, making him feel weak. A lot of people's criticism of this movie has been like, oh, they made Superman weak. They made Superman weak. He gets beat up throughout the whole movie. Like, yeah, he gets beat up throughout the whole movie, but it's established in the very beginning, and this is what I'm going to talk about. There is a little, like, pre-roll that is, like, played on screen before you see Superman crash land onto the Arctic wasteland that says, like, hey, 300 years ago, metahumans first popped up on Earth. 30 years ago, an alien landed in Kansas. 3 years ago, he came out to the world as Superman.
Yeah.
3 minutes ago, he lost a fight for the first time. Which is, oh my god, like, I get chills just thinking about that. Like, it sets up the universe so well. Of like, hey, we have this, like, superhero on our planet that is undefeated. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. And for the first time ever in 3 years, he finally lost a fight. So, like, people complain, like, oh, they made Superman look weak. Bro, he hasn't lost a fight in 3 years, you know?
Yeah.
He's definitely not weak. You just happen to hop into, like, 1 week in Superman's life where it was, like, the first time he's ever faced a real challenge that he couldn't, like, you know, defeat himself. So I like that. That was James Gunn talked about in an interview that was a pretty late addition. Originally, they just, like, started the movie with Superman landing in the Arctic, and audiences were, like, a little bit confused, so they decided to add that Star Wars-esque pre-roll, setting up the universe, and I think it was, like, one of the best parts of the movie in terms of just, like, execution of the script.
Yeah, and I think it's really great too that they show Superman isn't invincible. I think the whole point is he's on Earth and the sun makes him stronger, but not invincible. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they did a good job with that as well. Like, it's almost like a stamina thing. Like, no one has the stamina to go toe-to-toe with Superman, but if you do, you can definitely, like, get a leg up on him. So when he's faced with, spoilers now, but, right, like, when Ultraman, who is the Hammer of Baravia at the start of the movie, who's a clone of Superman, when he's going toe-to-toe with him, and he's just outperforming him because Lex Luthor has the whole book on him, like, yeah, it's only a matter of time until he loses the fight, you know? So yeah, I love the way that they established that, like, yeah, Superman is not perfect. And then they farther that by making him physically not perfect. And then they also, like, the next plot of the movie is, you know, Lex Luthor invades the Fortress of Solitude, and he gets the video message that was sent with Clark when he landed on Earth, which was originally corrupted, and Lex Luthor finds, like, the original audio source for it, and it turns out that, like, his parents told him, like, hey, conquer this planet, make it your own, start a harem, make a lot of super babies. So Lex Luthor releases that to the public, and his public perception, like, crumbles and tanks. They're like, holy crap, this guy's an alien invader here to take our wives. You know?
Yeah.
It's probably like what Rachel Brosnahan's significant other is thinking. So now he's like fighting a war on two fronts. Oh, and on top of that, we didn't establish this, but prior to the events of the movie, Superman stopped a war, somewhere like in Europe, probably maybe the Middle East, that like caused a lot of fallout because he essentially is a representative of the United States, even though he doesn't work for the United States government. And he went and he like meddled in international affairs, so like he's dealing with a lot of that fallout.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Just holding space for you.
I'm trying to think. I think the next like important plot point is the relationship between Lois Lane and Superman / Clark Kent. They've been dating for 3 months at this point.
Yeah.
In the movie, and Lois knows that he's Superman, but I think she doesn't understand who both Clark or Superman is.
Yeah.
At the beginning of this movie, and that's kind of the storyline she sort of takes, is seeing like Clark and Superman as a person who has genuine feelings for her.
Yeah.
And understanding the decisions that he makes and why he makes them.
Yeah. I love where we pick up in their relationship because I think you nailed it. I think they're in a part of their relationship where she's not seeing the full side to Superman or the full side to Clark Kent. Like, Clark has been he hasn't committed all the way with her. Yeah. He's only shown her parts of both sides of him. Mm-hmm. So she's struggling to put them together, and she's struggling to like connect to either of them fully, right? Like, she's not fully connected to Superman. She's not fully connected to Clark Kent. She's like kind of stuck in this in-between. And you can kind of feel the tension in their relationship at the start, which I love. I love because Lois Lane is like a really hard, hard A like badass woman. She's like a
punk rock.
She's a punk rocker, exactly. So I love that they didn't make her out to be this like damsel in distress. Oh, Superman, I love you. Like, I'm obsessed with him, and oh, he's, how can you not love him? Like,
she really is an independent, like, woman.
Yes.
Like, boss.
Unironic
woman.
Boss lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boss girl. Girl boss. Girl boss.
And she likes that about herself.
Mm-hmm.
And she struggles with, can I be vulnerable enough to be in a relationship, especially with someone who is literally Superman.
Who's perfect. Yeah. How can I date someone that's perfect?
Supposed to be perfect.
Because that's the image that up to this point in the relationship, this is all implied, which I think is really, like, if you want to talk about good script writing, right? In writing, there's something called subtext, right? The things that are unspoken, that are implied. And sometimes subtext doesn't come off well because people don't know how to do subtext correct. I think this movie does the subtext splendidly. Because you feel that. You know that her perception of Clark is perfect up to this point. That, like, Superman hasn't shown a different side to her for her to think that there's anything wrong with him. And I think that kind of bothers her. Like, that bothers her that, like, he's perfect because she's a, she's a punk rocker. And this leads into, like, maybe my favorite scene in the entire movie is their interview in Lois's apartment where, he just wrote an article that was like the front line, very Superman. Oh, I'm perfect. Like, oh, I just stopped the war, and also I interviewed myself, and I wrote an article, and it's front page, and everyone's loving it. And Lois is like, you know what? I didn't think that article. First of all, I didn't think your article was that good. Trying to take him down a notch, and second of all, I don't think it's very ethical that you're interviewing yourself. I think I should be the one interviewing Superman. And then he's like, okay, hotshot, like I'll give you an interview.
Not thinking that she'd actually go hard at him.
Right, like he did not think that she would grill him.
Yeah.
And she treats him like a normal interview, and she goes in on him. And there was some real tension there because in classic Superman like way, he's like, hey, I didn't do anything wrong. Like, I value human life. People were going to die, and I was not just gonna not do anything about it. And Lois is like, okay, yeah, you're right, but there are like consequences to your actions. Like the world is so much more complex than what you think, Superman. And their like difference in ideology really kind of makes it hard for them to see eye to eye, and it ends in a fight with him just like walking out, and it's like, oh, this relationship is like very rocky. You can tell it's like, oh, they're 3 months in, and this might be it.
Yeah. So fast forward a little bit, Lex Luthor has started to, I mean, you kind of find this out later as the movie goes, but Lex Luthor is behind a lot, like everything, all this public opinion turning on Superman is all Lex Luthor's doing, essentially. He is able to find a way to get Superman to turn himself in.
Correct. Because it's the right thing to do, right? It's such a good portrayal of the character of like, hey, there's a warrant out for my arrest. I'm gonna turn myself in. Also, because during when Lex Luthor went to the Fortress of Solitude, he hijacked Crypto, which we haven't talked about. Crypto's amazing.
Yeah.
Really cute, good dog. Crypto is stolen, so Superman is,
where's my dog?
He does kind of lose his cool. He pulls like a Jesus at the temple. He goes in there, he flips the table. He goes, "Where's the dog, Luthor?"
Yeah.
And that's their first time ever meeting, Lex Luthor and Superman in universe,
with each other. Because Lex knows everything about Superman.
Yeah.
But
except his real identity, apparently.
Yeah. Because he said he's gonna find Clark.
A little later on in the movie, he threatens him with hurting Clark Kent, not knowing that he is Clark Kent, and he's already hurting him. So yeah, Superman turns himself in, because there's a warrant for his arrest, because they want to bring him in for questioning, because news came out that he's actually here on Earth to take over the planet and populate it, and that's not cool with the U.S. government.
So then that's kind of where the main plot, I feel like, really kicks in, is that he goes into one of these. Lex Luthor has created pocket universe, in this world, which is, I guess, essentially almost a black hole.
Yeah, I guess it's like
a rip in the space-time
like a space
continuum.
in between. Yeah, science. I don't know.
And so he has essentially a prison for just people he doesn't like and criminals and stuff.
Ex-girlfriends.
And so he gets put into that, gets tortured a little bit.
Yeah, there's a elemental man, Metamorpho, there that's creating. They establish in the movie that there is no more kryptonite on Earth.
Yeah.
All the kryptonite sources have been
somehow obliterated.
They don't exist. So this character, Metamorpho, can turn his body into any substance, physical material, or
just anything. It seems like
anything like in the elemental
kind of created a sun, sort of.
Right. So he creates kryptonite to keep him weak.
Yeah.
Eventually, Superman, kind of good guy, talks him into like, hey, help me out. They're keeping your son hostage. Like, I'll save your son if you help me out. So because there's no sun in this pocket universe, and Superman can't recover from his injuries of the kryptonite poisoning,
right,
he convinces Metamorpho to make a sun, and he does. He makes like a mini sun.
Yeah. That
kind of probably gets him back to like 50%.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So while all of that's going on, we have on the outside, the real world, Lois Lane with Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, with Jimmy, trying to get some answers.
They figure out that Lex has created these pocket universes, and Lois specifically teams up with the Justice Gang, and more specifically, Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, so the Justice Gang is comprised of Mr. Terrific, Hawkgirl, and Guy Gardner, Green Lantern.
Yes.
They're, for any nerds out there, I'm a nerd, so, for anyone that's curious, they're a group created by Maxwell Lord. So they're not exactly like an altruistic like Justice League. They do live in or they work out of the Hall of Justice, which is really cool. Like the vintage, it's really awesome. Like the cartoon, the 1960s, Justice League Hall of Justice.
Yeah.
And it's really awesome. But they're their overlord is Maxwell Lord, who's just like a tech billionaire in this universe. It would be like if Jeff Bezos started his own vigilante superhero team. So public opinion on them is like maybe
Mixed.
And they're not like super good guys. Like Hawkgirl is aggressive. She ends up murdering like the president of Moravia at the end of the movie. Guy Gardner is obviously like a jerk. Really well played. And then Mr. Terrific is really cool, but he's also like kind of selfish. Like he cares about himself, like the interest of himself and maybe of the universe. So that's like the group that is like out there running around. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Lois goes to them to, hey, we need to find Superman. He's being held in a pocket universe and things are going to go really bad really quickly if we don't help him. She knows that there's like something bigger happening behind the scenes. So she's like, we can't let them keep Superman detained or things are going to go really, really bad. This is kind of like where the Boravia plot kicks in, right? Like I think they're worried that like without Superman, Boravia is going to invade Jarhanpur, I think is the name of the nation. And they're going to take it over. And they found out that Lex Luthor has like a stake in this. So like Luthor plans on starting like his own like small country over there and all the shenanigans. And they're like, we need Superman to stop all this.
Yeah, so they help Superman escape the pocket universe. Some great scenes, a classic James Gunn fight scene.
Really good fight scene. Very similar to the Guardians 3.
Yeah. Like going into a ship, essentially.
Yes. I'm trying to think of the band. I can't. The something boys. Why can't I think of the... I keep wanting to call them the Brixie Boys. Or the Brooklyn Boys. I can't remember the name of the band, but that scene with the song.
So they help him escape to help him heal after all of that, because like we've said, he's not fully back to 100%.
Right.
They take him to his parents back in Kansas, and Lois gets to see even more so, like more of his humanity. There's a callback to a band that they talked about, and she gets to see his home and his parents, and we talked about it, but they did such a great job of casting like Midwest parents.
They look like Midwesterners.
And so a great scene with Clark and his dad.
Really wholesome.
So that happens, and so then we get to sort of, I would say, the climax of the movie.
Yeah,
They're agree. On the news is about the war in Jarhanpur.
Boravia's about to invade again.
At the same time, Mr. Terrific calls because Lex Luthor has now created
like a rift that's tearing through. It's going to tear through Metropolis, and he did that intentionally
to bring
Superman to Metropolis.
Yeah. So Superman has to make a decision on what is he going to do.
Yeah.
In this moment.
Yeah.
And so then we get.
So we get like the climax of the movie, the big final fights. I will say I don't have many criticisms of this movie. I thought it's really well executed. One of the things I do feel like I didn't get the satisfaction of was Superman showing up to save the people of Jarhanpur. Yeah, because they do such a good job of like it's just kind of like sad. You know, these people are desperate. They're obviously like an underdeveloped nation. And they're like begging for Superman.
The kids,
you know, they got the flag, and this was something that was played in the trailers, you know. So it's like I was really hoping for that emotional payoff of like we asked for Superman and he showed up. He rescued us, you know.
Yeah.
But
you get Guy Gardner.
You get Guy Gardner, which they make a scene out of it. Guy Gardner, very funnily, he comes in. He's like, "Hey, sorry kid, you got an upgrade. Big Blue can't make it." You know. He starts flipping off the tanks with his
powers,
his lantern manifestations, and it's I think that scene could have been I think the action in that scene could have been a little cooler. Like I would have liked to seen maybe like a more extended Green Lantern sequence in the same vein that we got the Mr. Terrific scene.
Yeah, that's
same thing
fair.
with Hawkgirl. Like we just get a really small like Green Lantern does a few things. Metamorpho shows up to help. He does like a sandstorm. Yeah. Hawkgirl's flying around. That's when she ends up invading the president's palace and murdering him, you know. So yeah, I think that scene left a little bit to be desired. That's like maybe my only criticism of the movie. Everything else I thought was done well.
And then on the flip side, we have Superman fighting Ultraman.
Yep. So Superman is going to Metropolis on their way to confront Luthor because only Luthor has the codes to stop the rift.
Yeah.
So him and Mr. Terrific are on their way to confront Luthor. They're stopped by Ultraman and the Engineer, who we haven't talked about yet, just kind of like a
side henchman.
Like a henchman, very powerful, like not like more than a henchman, but definitely just like kind of Lex's bodyguard.
It felt very big. Her powers are very Big Hero 6.
That's a good way to...
If you know Big Hero 6 lore. There's like, I don't know, nanobots kind of. She uses that she can create anything with her body. I don't know.
Yeah, she reminded me a lot, for any like fans of the show, she reminded me a lot of Mercy Graves, who like traditionally is Lex's assistant in the show. And I think there are variations of her where she's like an android, like a robot android. So she's kind of like this like Lex Luthor assistant who's like super powerful, and she's there to like protect him. And that's kind of what she felt like. I think the reason they chose the Engineer is because originally the plan was to have a movie called The Authority come out after this, which is like a group. It's very similar to The Boys. It's like DC's version of The Boys. So probably not as raunchy, probably not as hardcore, but like very like rated R, rough, tough team that is kind of like trying to overthrow the government because they think they can do a better job of running the universe. And the Engineer is like a big part of that team. So I think that's why they went with the Engineer instead of someone like Mercy Graves. But she was cool. I liked her a lot. I thought she did a good job. Well, another good example of like solid casting.
So I'm trying to just get through it a little fast to speed up.
Yeah, we're almost at the end here.
Essentially, as Superman kind of defeats Ultraman and flies in with Mr. Terrific to Lex's, what's it called?
Office? Was that right?
I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. Like the place that he's at, his control room.
Yeah. Superman wins the fight. He beats Ultraman.
Some great monologues.
Some really good monologues from both characters there.
In that scene.
Yeah.
And Mr. Terrific is able to stop the rift.
Yeah. There's a really funny scene there. He like goes in, and one of the Lex goons, who was already like not very happy that they were doing this, he's like eager to help Mr. Terrific because he wants to close the rift. So he's like, oh, it's over here. I got you. I can help you. And then Mr. Terrific just kind of throws him off. He's like, I don't need your help.
I'm Mr. Terrific.
I'm Mr. Terrific, and then he does it himself. Some people, I've seen some complaints about this final scene of the monologue. People don't like, because Crypto is in this scene. Crypto's been around to help. He helps in the final fight. Some people don't like that Lex's monologue was interrupted by Crypto and played off as a joke. Because, it's very comedic, right? Like, Lex is in the middle of the speech. Crypto attacks him when Lex gets super close to, like, Superman. And then he kind of, like, bashes him around, and it's like, the whole room is like, ooh, which, like, it definitely is comedic. I'm not saying it's not. I just don't have an issue with it, because, I mean, like, if I'm writing the script, and Crypto is in the room, and Lex is in the room, and Superman is in the room, and Lex is getting aggressive, his tone of voice is coming up. Any normal
dog is going to do something like that.
That's exactly what a dog would do. Like, if you get up on the owner's face, and you start shoving your finger in his chest, the dog's instinct is to protect the owner. So, like, it comes off comedic, but it's true. It's true to the script, and it's true to the scene.
Yeah.
So I didn't mind it, right? Like, if you didn't want that, then you can complain about that if Crypto was not in the room.
People complain that it's like a James Gunn classic moment where he
is undercutting the emotional.
But we just watched a movie that did that way worse, and I would have to say,
you're talking about weapons? Yeah, definitely.
And I would have to say that I don't feel that way at all.
And we get so many good emotional payoffs. We get the scene with his dad in Kansas talking about Clark trying to figure out who he is. We get the final scene of the movie of him, hey, the robots are playing the clips of his childhood, and it's really, like, awesome. And it's a callback to, like, originally he used to have the clip of his parents from Krypton.
I cried because of that.
It was really beautiful, man. Yeah. It was really awesome. So you have plenty of, like, emotional scenes. The final kiss between Superman and Lois is really good. Yeah. Very cinematic. They're spinning in the air, floating up.
And honestly, I feel like they gave that monologue that Lex was doing the space it needed. I don't think...
Yeah. Everyone talks about how good it is. So, like, clearly, like, they didn't leave anything to be desired.
So that's basically the movie, is that Superman is human,
Yep.
but also a great Superman.
Yep. So that's we're wrapping it up here.
For Superman specifically.
Final thoughts?
Honestly, I'm really excited because of this movie to see where
Really?
the DCU go. Oh yeah.
That's really cool. I'm such like a DC nerd. I've always been. So.
And I think it's fun. They did a Peacemaker little.
We just got through Peacemaker.
And now that we watched Peacemaker, it's even cooler.
Yeah. Comes out later this month.
The what's the word? Like, he was in it. Peacemaker was in the
right. Peacemaker has a small cameo. That's what I'm trying to say.
The cameo that he had. Yeah. And I really like. It's exciting to see the Justice Gang because that's obviously like I said at the beginning, it feels like the universe is being built.
Yes, it's a solid start.
It's there, and it's not weird that there's going to be more people and different people coming in, and you've already had the team ups between the Justice Gang and Superman, and so it's not like, oh my gosh, they're all gonna. It's like it just feels like a very, very solid, fun start.
Yeah,
and honestly, like a great movie for everyone.
Yeah, I agree. What'd you give it on Letterboxd?
We saw it twice. I saw it twice.
You saw it twice.
I gave it 4.5 stars both times. The second time I watched it especially, I was like, okay, is it really worth 5 stars? Am I just like being biased because of the emotions and all that? But honestly, the way the movie was made, the way it looked, like everything I felt like deserved the 4.5.
Yeah, I agree. I also gave it 4.5 stars. I watched it 3 times. It was just, it was a really good movie, 4.5. I think what keeps me from giving it 5, right? Like usually when I give a movie a 4.5 stars, that's me saying like this is a really, 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 really good movie. For me, 5 stars doesn't mean perfect. For me, 5 stars just means it's a masterpiece. And I think it needed maybe. I mean, the movie's good, so I really don't have any criticisms, but it didn't move me super emotionally. It had really good scenes.
You cried though.
I cried, but like I didn't feel like, I don't know. I like to give 5s to like movies that like shake me to my core, where I'm like, oh, like that was an oomph emotionally.
Yeah.
And this was fun. Like I cried because I'm like, that's really sweet. This is a really sweet movie. It's really kind. It's really well done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think some action scenes felt like a little bit to be like I said, the tank. The desert scene, fighting the army of the Justice Gang.
Mm-hmm.
The Superman fighting scenes weren't all that great. I think the CGI in the movie is good, but there are some scenes where it's just like a little bit like awkward, like him fighting the Lex Raptors, I think is what, I forgot what they're called. The whole like army.
Yeah.
Like that was like a little Play-Doh-y. And him fighting the kaiju was good special effects, good CGI, but not very satisfying. I felt like I needed like a better Superman fight sequence.
Yeah. I think just comparatively to old DC.
Yeah. Oh, for
CGI,
sure.
There's no comparison.
When you compare it to The Flash, yes.
The last thing I just wanted to say is I think that this potentially could be one of my top movies of the year.
Yeah, I think I have a list. If you guys don't follow me on Letterboxd, follow me. It's just my name, Mauricio Morazan, but I keep up a list there as the movies come out this year. I have 2 lists. The best movies objectively, so when I try to take my bias out of the equation and just be like, okay, on a technical level, how good is this movie? And then I just have my favorites ranked. And I think Superman is sitting at 2 on both of those lists for me.
There you go.
So, really good movie. Get your tickets now.
All right.
Well, we're going to take a little break here to talk to our live viewers and set up for the Fantastic Four episode. We're wrapping around 1 hour, which is probably exactly like the length of a normal episode. So we're definitely over on time because we wanted to cover 2 movies. But I think this is a great start. If you're listening on the podcast, I think this will just be its own episode. So that was Superman. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be releasing our Fantastic Four review next, our discussion. Normally at the end of an episode, we talk about, we say our goodbyes, we talk about what we're looking forward to, what's next.
Consider this just a part 1 then.
Yeah, just consider this a part 1. Part 2 will be the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
So you guys will hear from us then. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.